Hi everyone, welcome back. Art Major 1 here. Today we are going to start our photography unit. Now last time we got together I had asked you to do a couple things. The first thing was to preview your vocabulary, and the reason for this is so you would understand some of the terminology that I was using today, and you're going to need to use at least one of those in your discussion questions at the end of today's activity. Now, remember, your vocab for this lesson is located right here in this folder. You guys should have checked it out. I'm not going to review it, but that is part of the lesson. Next thing, questions about photography. Let's see who has done what and what kind of experience you may have. Number 1, show of hands. It could be with a little icon, or you could actually raise your hand. How many of you have taken a photo before? With a camera, with your phone? John, have you ever taken a photo before? Okay, so you all have taken a photo. Very good, thank you. How many of you have taken a photo class or have watched a video on how to take a better photo? Anyone? Okay, so Abby has. Thomas, have you taken a photo class? No. So if you need help and I am busy, Abby's going to be our go-to person. Now there are a couple other students that did not make the call yet, make it into our call today. So some of them may also have some photo experience. We'll have to check with them next time we get together. And how many of you knew that there are careers out there in photography? So Thomas did, Abby did, kind of, sort of, very good, thank you. Towards the end of the unit, we're going to talk about some of those different photography types of careers. There's some really cool ones out there, so just to give you a heads up, that's something we're going to be looking at in a little bit. Now, how to take a great photo. I have a video here. It's not very long, it's under 10 minutes, and if you have a DSLR camera, I want you to use it. You will be tested on it for your NOCTI exam, and there are different components that this video covers. So please look it over. Not everybody has one. If you do not have one and would like to borrow one, please stay on the call afterwards or send me a message and we'll arrange something to get one to you. Now, something else there is a video. It's called Eye versus Camera. If you click on it, it's going to take you to a link. Let me just click on that for you. So eye versus the camera. The eye and the camera are very similar, but yet they're different. There's going to be some sort of extra credit in here at some point during our unit if you can tell me the similarities and the differences. So I do recommend watching this 5-minute video. It's very interesting and I do think you're going to like it. I'll just back out of that. Rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is going to be very important when we are taking our photos. And today we have a little activity that we are going to do together using the rule of thirds and also some lighting and some composition rules. So let me play this. This is one of your visual vocab words that you should have already written down or drawn a picture of to help understand what it means. So let me play it again. A little bit of a buffering issue here. Sorry about that.
Rule of thirds. Rule of thirds refers to a composition technique in photography using a grid composed of 9 squares, similar to a tic-tac-toe board. The squares are used to arrange the elements of a photograph. The grid breaks up the photographic space in either 3 sections horizontally or vertically. The horizontal and vertical lines of the grid can be used to avoid placing the horizon or subjects, such as a person or monuments, in the exact middle of a photograph.
All right, so that was the rule of thirds. Now let's kind of explain what that video actually means. Thomas, are you still there with us paying attention? Yes, okay. Just checking in with you. Thank you. Um, Rule of thirds. On your camera, on my camera anyhow, there is this grid. And I always make sure my grid is on just so I can see where my points of interest are. Remember they said that it helps divide it and find the focal points. So where these lines intersect, there's two up here at the top, one on the left and one on the right. Same down here with the bottom. That's where you want to have your focal point. It's just a natural thing that you're drawn to, and you do not want to have your subject right here in the center. So it says portrait photos work best when the person's eyes overlap with the intersections on a 3x3 grid. And since those intersections are key focal points, this creates a better sense of eye contact and engagement than placing them dead center. Now, the next one, zooming in, we also have the grid. Now, this composition, they say, is the better of the two because the faces fall on the grid. However, I'm going to argue this because, once again, your subject is directly in the center. I actually prefer the two adult and the child over here on the left-hand side. Here it says if you have more than one subject, try to position them so they're near an intersection on the rule of thirds grid. I am voting for this one. If you give me a photo that looks like this and I take points off because it's centered, I want you to argue, hey, Mrs. Minnich, I used the rule of thirds. I was following what you said in the lesson. I think you should give me credit for it. Just let me know, and I'll fix that grade. Now, landscapes. For landscapes, try to align the horizon with one of the two horizontal lines near the center of the grid. Here, where the sky meets the ground, that is called the horizon line. If you have an interesting ground, you want to see more of it. Therefore, your sky, where it meets the ground, is up here at the top. Now, many of you take photos of sunrises or sunsets, and if they're really pretty, you may want to take up 2/3 of this grid and just have the ground down here at the bottom. Now, with your beautiful sunrise or sunset, I want you to be careful of the subject matter that is around it. If there are dumpsters and a whole bunch of cars and it's not really pretty, maybe relocate yourself to get the same sunrise, sunset, but with a different subject down at the bottom. Sorry, we're going to skip over architecture for right now. We'll talk about that a little later on. Action. You should not have your figure close to the edge. What we're looking for is to have a little bit of headroom, like you see here on the right. It says, be careful not to cramp your subject, especially when you want to create a sense of motion. Try placing the subject at one end of the grid and leaving space for their destination at the other. We want to see where they're going, what they're looking at. Maybe something else is going to surprise us. We want to be aware of that. All right, so here we go. We're going to start an activity right now. So I'd like for you all to make sure your cameras are on. And I'd like for you, let me stop sharing. Oh, wait, there you go. I'd like for you to show me what your 3 items look like in just a second. Let me turn on this camera. I'm going to turn off this camera. Oh, there we go. All right. Up at the top of my camera, I see a little icon to flip it around. So let me show you what I have here. Today for my activity, I have a water bottle, I have a dog bone, and I have a pair of glasses. Can I see everybody's 3 items? Can you show them to me, please? Abby Minnich, you have a raised hand. What's up?
So I can't see your screen right now. I think you have your camera turned off. If you're trying to show us something. Oh, okay, I see it.
Abby, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay, Johnny has 3 things. Oh, Abby, great minds think alike. You have glasses, mushroom, and a box of tissues. Thomas has a Lego man, a golf ball, and a hat. Okay. Our first thing that we're going to try is an eye level view. And this is what most students, you could turn off your cameras for just a second if you would like. Let me represent here. So we're going to try a different vantage point. There is a worm's eye or a bug's eye view. There is eye level and a bird's eye view. The eye level, this is where most of you take your photos. It's looking directly at the subject. So if Thomas, you have a question? Yes?
Can I use the bathroom?
Can you hold it for just a couple minutes, please?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so once again, eye level. I am going to hold my camera at the eye level. And I need to create a little bit of an interesting layout here. Now, my desk was kind of busy, so what I did was I put a piece of paper down here at the bottom. I'm going to just hold my camera straight on these. I cannot zoom in and out right now, but here we go, eye level. Can I see each of you put your 3 items on a flat, uncluttered surface at an eye level view? Very similar to what I have here.
How's this?
John, yours looks good. Thank you. There is a little bit of clutter in your background. Do you have a piece of paper or something to stick right behind your items? Okay, Thomas, you're going to need a full camera.
How about that?
Well, John, now you're like cutting off the. Oh, that's better. That's better. That's eye level. You're hiding your cords now. Thank you. Abby, yours looks really good. Thomas, not bad. Okay, so these are all eye level shots. Fantastic. The next shot I am going to try is called a bird's eye view. I am going to take my camera and hold it on top, looking down on top of my items. As long as I am looking at part of it. Now I would zoom or get a little closer. Try not to have anything busy. Why don't you guys try this now? You're looking down. John, that's good. Looking down. Abby, good. You're looking down. Thomas, can you frame that so you can see all 3 objects just a little more? I'm pretty much just seeing the hat right now. Can I see a little? There you go. Thomas, can you zoom in a little bit? Do you have the ability to do that or move a little closer? Okay, good. So Thomas, with yours, I would probably arrange your items a little bit in a little different way so that all 3 of them are interacting. Okay, so looking down on them, that's all good. Now, Thomas, since yours are kind of flat, you may have a problem with this next one, so I'm going to give you a tip for it. The next one we're going to try is called a bug's eye view. And what I am doing, we have another member of the class that's going to jump in right now. Oh. No, not right now. Maybe they'll come back in. So anyhow, I have my camera at the bottom of my still life. I am tilting it down so I can see it like a bug would see it. Now let me just move my items. This isn't working as well as it did earlier, so if you guys are having some issues, I get it. See how I'm looking up at my items? what I'd like for you all to do right now, and you can't really see my glasses unless I perhaps move them. Can I see yours from a bug's eye view angle? Can you turn your cameras back on your items? You might need to move some things around. Or what you may need to do is move your stuff to the very edge of your table or your desk and hold your camera below the table surface, kind of looking up at them. Now, if you see clutter, with mine, I see clutter in the background. I could just grab a piece of paper and stick something behind it. But Thomas, you have a lot going on. Is there a way that you can take your items and move to an area that may not be as cluttered, or put something over top of those? Okay, so it looks like you're going to do it. Abby, good. I could see under your glasses and under the bottom of the mushroom. Johnny, can you try to angle your phone just a little more so your green guy looks a little bigger, maybe? Okay, Johnny, you're getting under it. And Thomas, that looks much better. Thank you. I can now see under the brim of the hat. So when you guys are practicing this bug's eye view, you're going to need to be aware of your surroundings. You're not going to be in a very cluttered place. And looking at the top, like right now with mine, I'm seeing a light and I'm seeing my window. So that's not very good, in my opinion. I would prefer to take this outside on a nice sunny day and it would look better. So let me just stop this one. Oops, sorry everyone. I'm going to share my screen one more time. So what we did was a worm's eye or bug's eye view, eye level, and bird's eye view. I want you on your own when we break off into our little get-together session, when that's all over, I want you to practice each of those, but also be aware of your rule of thirds. Where is your subject falling? Now let me scroll down here. Earlier today, I took some photos of my 3 items. Let me zoom out. So this is the first photo I took. My table surface was very busy, and so I put a piece of paper underneath it. Just by putting a piece of paper underneath it, I kind of cleared up the space around it. Do you guys see that? So you don't need to do this right now. I just want you to watch how some of my photos may be improving or may be getting worse. Now, I also took these items to a different location. Who can tell me what may not be so good about this location? John?
It's a dark environment.
Yes. Is there anything else that may not be so good?
It's cluttered background.
Yeah. Yes. Very good. Thank you, John. So it's a cluttered background and it's dark. Here's the next one. Tell me maybe what improved, what still needs to be taken care of. Any takers? Thomas, yes.
There's a lot of clutter.
Yes, there is still a lot of clutter. How about something else? John?
I was gonna say the table is like not like following, or it's not like plain, so it like messes up the picture.
All right, so there's a lot of maybe too much texture in this. It almost looks like a sink with some stuff around it. Abby, I see you also have a raised hand.
I like how the lighting's better in this one than the last one.
Yes, the lighting is better in this one, but yet it's still cluttered. Now with this one here, we do have this bright object right in the center. You may want to try to make sure that that's not going to happen in your photos, but the lighting is better, but the clutter is still there. Here's what I recommend. I recommend that you take your items, maybe outside. This is some texture. It's grass. Texture is great. We have some items cropped. So if you can zoom in on your photo and crop it, it's going to be better because you're focusing on a particular subject and not necessarily everything around it. I took the same items and I just relocated them. Outside, we have some flowers. It adds to some extra color. And then finally, this was taken on the floor by my front door, and a little bit of light is shining through. So your composition matters, and also your composition matters, your lighting matters, the objects that you choose matter. So I want you to be aware of all of those. Now, when you go to do yours, you can keep your same objects or you can switch them up. You can choose things that matter to you. And the reason I am saying this is because our projects are going to be inspired by the photos that we are taking. And you're going to want to look at your photos. If you're going to hang them in your room, you'd want to look at things that you enjoy, things that make you happy. It's going to be like creating a vision board with the next couple projects. So here's what I'm going to ask that you do on your own. It's called picture practice. Let me zoom in here. Oops. Come on. Now we all just did this together as a group. You're going to create a mini still life photograph. Now, before you just do it where you're at right now, I want you to find the ideal spot. So if you have some of your most favorite items with you, why not go to one of your most favorite spots? Maybe it could be the park. Maybe it could be the beach. Maybe it could be your room or a friend's house if they would let you photograph some items there. You need to take 3 pictures, one from a worm's eye or a bug's eye point of view, like we all tried, one at eye level, and one from a bird's eye perspective. So I want you to try those, keeping the rule of thirds in mind. You're going to upload all 3 of those to this discussion post, and you're going to tell which is which and why. Now, number 4, you also need to comment on the work of at least 2 other students. You're going to offer some praise, elaborating on your like. Just don't say, I like this, or looks good, or do some little emoji. That's not going to work. I want you to use complete sentences. You can offer praise, or you could suggest ways to improve the photographs, and make sure you include at least one of your vocab words for this unit in the reply. Very important. Now, one other thing, we have a couple members of the class missing today. So I would like for you to comment on the work of the 2 students that submitted right before yours. Now, the other kids that aren't in the class, if they were to put theirs in before yours, you need to comment on, like I said, the 2 that submitted right before you did. If you were the first to post, you can choose any 2 students' work to comment on. Now, here is our rubric. If you forget what it is I'm saying, just come back and check things out. So the still life preparation is worth points. Each of the different perspectives that we talked about are worth points. It's not only the point of view, but you need to tell why it is a bird's eye view, an eye level, or a worm's eye view. And then the comments to the other students. Please just don't say it's good. I want you to elaborate on that. Let me go back out. For those of you that end up really liking some of the photos that you're taking, there are a couple photo contests, and we'll talk about this more at the end of our unit. You're just going to click this little link. It's going to take you to a whole bunch of compositions. And also locally, the Harrisburg Farm Show has some photograph, like a photograph category. There's some black and white, there's some color, and there's different age groups. Now, when we get together again, I'm going to expand upon today's project. We're going to look at some photos that were taken by students last year that I liked. We're going to talk about what is good or what can be improved about them. And then we're going to do some more discussion questions and continue with that. Okay, so I think, oops, hold on here. I think you guys did a great, you had a great class today. I want to appreciate everybody joining in. Thank you for your participation and good luck. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to stay on and ask me, or you could send me an email. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.